Hey guys, it's me Piyush, and today we're going to be talking about the 2017 13-inch MacBook Pro. So, let's get started. This MacBook Pro costs $1,300 for an Intel Core i5, 8GB of RAM, and 128GB of internal storage. When you buy a Mac from Apple, you're mainly buying it for 4 reasons: the design, macOS, the experience, and obviously the Apple brand itself. So let's start off by talking about the design. If there's one thing that Apple gets perfect, it's the design. This laptop has a unibody aluminum frame with a space gray finish. It is sturdy and looks very modern, fitting the Apple aesthetic. There's the Apple logo on top, which sadly doesn't light up like the previous Macs. The keyboard is nice. I mean, it's clicky, but there's not enough travel as I would like, and the trackpad is amazing too. I wonder why no other company really uses the real estate given to them under the keyboard, like Apple. The screen is top notch. It's one of the best I've seen in a laptop. It's clear, bright, and pretty well calibrated. The MacBook Pro is also really light, allowing me to take it anywhere with me. There's only 2 things that kind of bug me. First of all, it's that kind of boxy design. I mean, yeah, it looks cool and stuff, but it's kind of a pain when you're trying to type. The second thing is that this laptop only has 2 Thunderbolt 3 ports. Due to this problem, I need to buy a dongle like this one. It's one I got from Amazon. It's pretty cheap and it works incredibly well. I'll leave a link down below if any of you have a new MacBook or something so you can use it out. A really big part of owning a Mac is the software, macOS. You can't really compare macOS to Windows because they're kind of 2 different operating systems. Even if Macs don't have such powerful hardware, the software really kicks in and doesn't let you realize the loss in performance. For example, my Mac is really good at video editing, even though it only has a Core i5 and 8GB of RAM. Another really good feature about macOS is the usability. This software took me less than a day to really get used to. I mean, it's very simple. Everything's just really nicely organized, and I really just like that. It didn't take me long at all to get used to macOS. And now, if you ask me if I preferred macOS or Windows, I would definitely choose macOS. Another really important thing is obviously the Apple ecosystem. This really comes into play when you have multiple devices like an iPad Pro and iPhone 7 Plus, stuff like that. Because whenever I start something on my iPad, if I have the same app or if it's on like Safari, I can quickly pick up from my iPad and go straight to the Mac, and vice versa. I can also do that with my phone. I don't have to do everything again and again, and it just really ties in all the Apple products together. There's also some really cool things like FaceTime and messages. I can have any message from my phone show up on my Mac or on my iPad, and it's just really cool. And another thing is that now in iPadOS you can have Sidecar to where you can use your iPad as a second display for your Mac. So that's just like bonus features of owning multiple Apple products. And that's a really big reason why I got my Mac. So at the end of the day, I would really prefer macOS. I've kind of gotten used to it now, and it's just a lot better for what I do. The experience of using a Mac is actually pretty amazing. I mean, it's all the small little details that Apple puts into its software and hardware. For example, the MacBook automatically turns on when you open it up, or the MacBook can easily be opened with just one hand. The trackpad is really nice, using up all its space. The unibody aluminum frame. The integration of iOS and macOS, the loud speakers, the thin bezels, the really quiet fans, the lightweight build, and just in general all the little things, because that's what really elevates the experience. It just makes the user feel so much better about owning that company's product, and that's something Apple is really amazing at. Now, a lot of people say you just pay for the Apple brand. I've heard it only costs Apple about $300 to $500 making these MacBook Pros, but they sell it for $1,300. And Apple does this because Apple knows its customers will pay that premium just for the brand and just for the compatibility between iOS, macOS, iPadOS, and just all the devices and software Apple really has. Now, usually when you're buying a MacBook, you're not really buying it for performance. don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that MacBooks are slow. They're really snappy, they're really good at video editing, but it's more the software that really kicks in to give you that extra boost of performance. For example, if I wanted a PC that had the same specs as my MacBook, I could get a Dell Inspiron 3000 for just $549. I could get 2 of those and still have over $200 to spare. But if you really are looking for that extra punch, you're gonna be spending upwards of $2,000, $3,000, or even $4,000. At the end of the day, this is a great laptop if you have the will and the money to spend. If you're a student, I kind of wouldn't recommend this really, because you can just get the MacBook Air. It's $100 cheaper, so that's actually a lot smarter. It's also more light. But the decision really comes down to what you do, why you need it, and really if you're gonna be willing to spend that much money on a MacBook Pro. That's all for today's video about the MacBook Pro. I really hope you enjoyed it. And by the way guys, previously my channel just surpassed 100 subscribers. Maybe our channel will one day make 1,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, 100,000 subscribers. That's all. I would just like to thank you so much. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at SweetTechPlanet. So thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.